That was thunderous right there. Oh, we're gonna have a nice conversation, huh? Gonna have a nice conversation. Have a lot of motherfuckers listening today. How y'all doing, folks? How you doing? Hopefully all is well with you. Who we got in the building? What's up? What's up? Get everybody investigated, dedicated. Hell, some of you need to be exonerated. May or may not be the most intellectually sound person, so, but I'm damn sure far from the least. I'm going to tell you all what it's all about. See, a lot of people in this world haven't went through anything where strategically, let me see, here's the first question. This is the thing about modern relationships in modern times. How can a blue pill man of age be interested in modern women without losing his humanity? Well, it's very easy, man. Because you never believe it could happen to you. When you have individuals who never believe it will never happen to them, things happen. Unfortunately. What's up, Beige Rage? Gonna let the people interview me a little bit. Ask the questions. Some people actually need toxic masculinity. What's up? Some people actually need hope. And duty will always outweigh hope. Sorry. But not sorry. You gotta realize that sometimes you're gonna have to dig deep. You're gonna have to man the hell up. But there's some people who believe this system is still honest. They don't think that, one, women are deceitful, especially when it comes to their nest or what they want. A woman will sell you out. A woman would sell you out. And unfortunately, we have people who still believe in the Matrix. Belle Biv DeVoe said it so eloquently. Don't trust a big butt and a smile. You have a lot of Negroes out there in La La Land who faithfully trust a big butt and a smile. A woman may love you just off of, a woman may love you just strictly off of your looks, your physical looks. Mm. Arms up. Up. Arms.
Jeez.
There you go. Live on prosper. Next one you got there.
All right.
Now, keep the door open. Now, a woman can love you just what you do for her, and most will. A woman will love you just because you make her orgasm. A woman can love you just because of a certain shade of your eye color or your hair. Men still to this day don't believe women are just as shallow, if not more than them. We got Mello in the building. At ease, soldier. At ease. The beige rage, ladies and gentlemen. So hit me up with your best questions. I'm getting the reoccurring feeling women today do not accept chivalry, kindness, and really more prefer the rougher, non-traditional experience. Well, that's because women want fun. They want to ride, especially depending on the maturity of a woman. She's not looking for stability. She's looking for a good time. She's looking for that good time. That's why when a chick gets a divorce, she may or may not actually start to lose weight. But like I said in my Facebook comment, a woman's appearance tells the world what she thinks you deserve. Her appearance tells the world what she thinks that you deserve. If a woman tells you that I'm going to lose weight if you stay with me X amount of months or years, she doesn't think you deserve it. They want a good time. They want to feel good. They don't want to be good. They want to feel good. That's the ultimate. So, everybody get your questions and comments ready. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Most women nowadays do not think of what they could do for you first. See, that's the thing. If you're not open to that agreement, don't take it. You don't have to take what's being offered. I think that's the one thing that men really forget. You don't have to take bullshit. Why are you taking stuff that you don't agree to is beyond me. Why would you even put yourself through that type of headache? You can't save them all. This is what I keep telling people. You can't save them all. Why try? Hey man, I got a boo to pick in this fight. She came with me when I ain't have shit to my name but a car. What's the bone that you gotta pick before I break it? And I'm pretty good at breaking bones. lot of women here are just not, they're not going to be married. Marriage is dying. People want to believe in that, oh, marriage is forever. To some, but to most, no. No, it's not. Unfortunately. The overwhelming majority of chicks rather be hoes. They rather be hoes. And this is what happens to a society that's in decay. You'd rather be a baby mama than a wife. Why? Because a wife is a responsibility, just like a husband. Oops, I know. Damn it, I know. And a lot of chicks want to become a wife. Why? Instead of saying, okay, I want to be a benefit to this man and I appreciate this man for who he is, I'm going to put him through all kinds of hell. Well, damn it, you're over 20 years old, dude. Right like an adult. She said, I ain't got a bone to pick in this fight. She came with, so you're one of the blessed ones when she came with you. She didn't ask so much. She respected you for you. You're one of the blessed ones. Most times when it comes to dudes, most dudes simp. And we understand that most dudes simp. And why? Because God bless the simps. God bless the homosexuals. God bless them. Because there'd be a lot of unfulfilled bitches out there making everybody's life a living hell. We know this. We know this to be true. If somebody has an issue, I can open the panel up, but I'm giving you the chance to ask the questions, and I'll answer. Sub simply deep. See, the craziest part of the social contract is that men never broke it. Men always felt as though we got to be responsible for a chick. To do best by her. You don't hear chicks saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do right by you like that anymore." You don't. It's not me saying, "Oh, you're negative, you're this," you know. No, 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 no. This is what this is what we go through. What's up, T Riddler? This is what men go through on a day-to-day basis. In reality, okay. We blame ourselves for the social contract being disrupted when, in essence, we're the only thing that's holding us down by super glue and duct tape. The women said, fuck, and I do mean with a big F, fuck your contract. Question: is it possible for your woman to want you physically too much? If you want to answer that, um, unless you're working long hours, but you should modify that. I don't really think it's a bad thing if your woman wants you too much. I think it's the proper thing if your woman wants you more than you want her a little bit. That way she's willing to be on your program. If a woman thinks she's better than you, guess what? You can count on a wristwatch how long she's going to stay with you. If that woman doesn't see you as damn near almost God on earth in some form or fashion, not only in a loving way, but also in a respect way, because respect and love are two totally different goddamn things. And if anybody got a debate about it, we'll debate about it right now. If that woman does not love and respect you and have reverence for you, you can count on a wristwatch how long y'all gonna be together. A woman's respect will go longer, much longer than her love for you. Let me know if you agree. If you agree, Curry Gang Job, what's up? Give me a woo if you agree. Give me a hell no if you don't. Ugh. I'm gonna tell you, man. You want your woman to be on your left testicle. If she's not, what the hell else is she gonna do? Your woman should like you a little bit more than you like her. Not saying you don't like her, but she should. Your woman should be. You give your woman purpose, and she gives you inspiration. If that's not happening, tick tick, man, tick tick. People gonna lie. There's people gonna lie and say, no, my wife don't have to be like bullshit. I'll call you out on your bullshit. I don't even give a fuck if it's a chick you fucking. If that chick that you fucking ain't fucking on the level, what the hell you with her? What the hell you with her for? The problem is that a lot of dudes don't want to admit. Number one, a lot of men are game goofy. And I'm not saying I'm Don Magic Vaughn, but I've been around the block a couple of times. Probably got more bodies than Arlington National Cemetery. But here's the point. A lot of people, there are some people in the world are married because they have to be. There are some people in the marriage because they want to be. You picking up what I'm putting down? See, I've told my friends I never had the desire to be in this big thing. I don't knock anybody wanting to be married as long as you're honest to yourself and that person. If you're going to be married, what is the reason you're going to be married for? I'm not going to waste my damn time nor somebody else's when obviously you should know what you want out of a relationship. You should know how you want to be treated. If you can't get decent respect from your wife, the hell you with her for? Well, no, that's not how it is, and you got to understand. No. Does your wife respect you making a decision? If the answer is no, then you're fucked up. If you got a battle like Skeletor and He-Man, like Optimus Prime and Megatron, like dairy products and black people, then you're not you're not in a good marriage. You might need counseling from many different places. Here's an example. You and your lady are alone, somewhere quiet, no one's around, and she wants to do something spontaneous. She has you bricked up as a star. Is it too much fun? There's never too much fun. She's supposed to do that. Here's the craziness about it all. Right? Come on, keep coming with the questions. What's up, Total Runner? Come on, bring the questions. Bring the questions, and let's see if I can answer some of them. Anybody at? I mean, shit. You don't want it to be sound like a fun night, and maybe even a better morning. Shit, sometimes the funnest nights is where you start, and then find out you sleeping on the couch, and y'all laying in the couch, half drunk and definitely naked. So definitely keep on with the questions. Let's go with the questions. Who else we got coming in the building? Of course she's supposed to. Well, you're not supposed to go deep, son. You're supposed to go balls deep. Balls deep. So hey, here's the craziness part. Sometimes you might have to tone your sexuality down. Okay? Sometimes you do. And people be like, well, if the chick's over your house, that's a good thing. Yeah, most of the time. But sometimes, if you really want a chick on you, sometimes you don't show the horn dog side because it'll kind of make her want you more, especially if you're nonchalant. Uh, Ninja Turtles? Well, I guess Ninja Turtles got you married, didn't it? Heroes in a half shell, huh? Turtle power, nigga. Turtle power. Uh, you gotta be able to have a personality. Because personality will make a chick fuck you more than anything else. I mean, physical, of course, but personality, man. If you got a personality that a chick loves, she's gonna find a way to stay in your life. I'm like reading Rainbow. I'm like reading Rainbow. Shit. Now you niggas need to learn how to flirt. Well, you gotta think of personality and body game, right? Personality says that you don't have to be a stick in the goddamn floor. Um, you should always look like something you want to obtain. You can't say I want a bad bitch and you look like a bad nigga. You looking like half of a fucking rat's ass with a bad shape up with some bummy ass clothes that you got from 15 years ago that you look like you painted in and farted in. Nah, you can't do that. If you want a woman in shape, your ass better be in shape. Well, I want a bad bitch, but nigga, your breath smell like thunder, ass smell like lightning. You can't do that. It's not fair. Can't be smelling like a goddamn full court of basketball in a wrestling run. No, not fair. You definitely got to make her laugh because if you can make her laugh, you make her comfortable. If you can make it chick comfortable, that's endless. Okay. People say you shouldn't joke about yourself. You should because that means you don't take yourself too seriously all the time. That means you're relaxed. You're calm under pressure. If you're calm under pressure, that means that chick knows that you can calm her down. The more you calm her down, the more relaxed she is. The more relaxed she is, the more she's gonna love you and your je ne sais quoi. The more relaxed she is, the more she's willing to do for you. Once again, reading Rainbow. Don't have to take my word for it. But the problem with niggas try to act like they're bigger than what they are. And what happens when you try to act like you're bigger than what you are? You get exposed. I'll tell you straight off the back. I'm 44 years old. I like lifting weights. Wrestling's my greatest sport. I love combat sports. Can't throw a ball for a damn. And I like comic books and anime. What's up? You actually like it for real? And that's what, here's the funny part. When they know you actually have a hobby that's outside of niggatry and niggerdom, oh, you become the most interesting thing on the block. Especially, especially when what? There's an age gap difference. When there's an age gap difference, every female loves it when you can teach her something. Every female loves it when you teach her something. Thunder with no cats smell like stray dogs with wetness. Stray dogs with wetness. I've seen niggas that try to talk to a girl that smell like he bathed in used motor oil. Fucking nose hair smell like chitlins. Nasty motherfucker. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you're right. When you make a chick comfortable, guess what? She's gonna come all over you. And I'm gonna say this, my niggas, my brothers in Christ and the powers of Grayskull, please invest in your cologne game. Invest in your goddamn cologne game, please. Do it for me. Do it for me. If you don't have, you should collect 5 bottles a goddamn month. That's your goal. 5 bottles a month. Niggas. 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 We are grown ass men. Grown than grown. If you don't get your niggardly asses up and get some goddamn cologne, some smell goods, I swear to everything that I love, y'all Negroes don't grow up and get the goddamn cologne. Mm. Go to those Arabic, in the mall. If you still got a mall that exists in your goddamn city, because ours are being eaten the fuck up. Go to the kiosk and get some of them new Arabic phrases. God damn, Axe body spray is not a goddamn cologne either. Shit, hit that cash app, people. Go get some goddamn in the cologne. I mean, shit. Let's talk scientific for a minute, right? A female has what? A greater sense of taste and smell. So that really saying is this, my niggas. If you can cook and if you can put on some smell goods, you just conquered the goddamn world. Amazon has some of them fragrances, those Arabic colognes, for $30 to $70, sometimes 85. 5, 6, sometimes 8 hours out the deal. Man, if somebody put a goddamn app, it put the damn put the email in the gut. Ooh, put the website in the goddamn thing. Put the website in the goddamn chat. I'm tired of niggas smelling like some cheap ass dollar store stuff. Now we grown. God damn it, grown. I don't give a fuck if you gotta go wash windows with the squeegee boys. Get you some goddamn cologne. Now, we got any more questions? Got any more questions in the chat? Some blue pill, red pill, all kinds of. I have almost 50 goddamn fragrances, nigga. We got Mike in the building. What's up, Mike? Got Big Mo in the building. Man, y'all better put some of y'all favorite fragrances and tell these young motherfuckers. Man, shit. They got this shit called, let me see. I just sprayed my goddamn, my great nephew with this. Where's my shit? Man, y'all about to make me crack a gasket. This shit in a red bottle called Nitro. We also got Spice Bomb. Man, as a matter of fact, nigga to nigga. My brothers from the Xavier Institute, make sure you have a cologne you walk around the house in. Little dab of do you? You go outside to your car, clean your car out, go talk to the post lady. The mail lady outside might get you another number. You should always, man, man, she. She. Matter of fact, we're gonna do this. All you Negroes here, hit up Obsidian and tell them the next conclave, I'm gonna be a guest motherfucking speaker. Another question: how do you handle the type of embarrassing moment that'll get you clowned? I'm gonna tell you the hell how it is. Number one, we're gonna go back to the thing I said. Always, you should have respect for yourself, but always know the moments where you can laugh at yourself. Because if you can laugh at yourself, you're cool under pressure. No man can get to you. If you look like in front of your dudes and in front of your chick, you can make a joke. Now, there's a fine line between disrespect and laughing something off. Because one, I'm going to say something that may sound like contradicting, but it's going to get back to the circular statement. Any man that can invoke violence is a man who's truly peaceful. You know why? Because that man doesn't have to prove himself. For example, let me see what you're. The next conclave might be next year, this year. We gonna get y'all can get down with some colognes, man. Shit, man, I got some goddamn shit. I'm gonna share this one with you, right? Write this in the club. Do eat. Now, I'm gonna write it down in this goddamn chat. Get this motherfucker because everybody loves what's that shit called? Creed Aventus. This is Creed Aventus and probably a little bit better without paying the full fucking price. Because I'll be damned if I gotta pay for like a goddamn car part for cologne. Unless I really, really want it. You get this one here. And you get that to a gift for somebody, you made a friend for life. Trust me. Here's another fragrance. Here's another fragrance, right? Because Uncle Charles is putting niggas on. Okay. Here's another Arabic fragrance. Because people think I'm not educational and shit. Oh fuck. Nope. I'll delete that from the files. This is the next one. Trying to get y'all some good spelling, man. This shit here, this shit here will make you smell like a goddamn old fashioned. With that vanilla, I swear to God, I wore this at the harbor one time. A bitch tried to eat me. Mm. And you put your cocoa butters and your coconut butter, coconut oil first, then put your cologne on, and it actually lasts longer. Get that, look up those scents right there, man. Tell Uncle Charles hit you up, man. Uncle Charles hit you with some good shit. Give me some more questions. Yep. Well, Mello, when you get back to the city, we're getting drunk, right? We're gonna be drinking cigars. We're gonna be smoking cigars and getting drunk, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, because a lot of colognes were, especially if they're not high quality, and that high quality mix is going to be very chemically. And now you having stuff like charcoals and more natural shit that spreads longer and is a better mix, because sometimes it's not only the mixture but the amount of mixtures. You might need a 20/40 of something or 60/40, because it's different, notes and different stuff that we need. Plus, you could wear the same cologne, I could wear the same cologne, and the notes and everything going to be expressed is going to be differently because of body type, pheromones. If you sweat more, if I sweat more, if you sweat less, if I sweat less, different reasons. And then sometimes the clothing material and the lotions or moisturizers you utilize. I mean, you got to realize that you got to be able to laugh things off. Hell, I've been caught by the police having sex with my ex girlfriend. You got to laugh it off. I'm sorry. You can't be an asshole. Hey, give me 5 more minutes, officer. No, got to laugh it off. That's what's up. That's what's up. Lost is trying to get me to become a guest speaker there. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. Somebody hit up City and tell them get your nigga a ticket in the room. I'm trying to get up there. Uh, if not this year, definitely next year. Now, y'all give me some of these questions y'all want the Sarge to answer, man. Let's make this shit interesting. They want to talk about game. How you dress, how you talk, how you smell is part of your presentation. I think that every man from the age of 18 to 800 should start their worldliness. Read a book. I don't give a damn if it's a comic book. At least you read. Read a book. Hell, you even got Audible. Read a book. The more interesting you are as a grown ass man, the more interesting you're going to be when the chips are down. Excuse me. Even if you're a guy in your 40s, go ahead. We got a question. Okay. Why are so many young men weigh between 120 and 125 with no development? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, If you were born in the early 80s, like Wah, you were inundated with masculinity. Who were our heroes? Action Jackson, G.I. Joe, um, He Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Universe. Think about it. We grew up with people that were called the most powerful man in the universe. Like, nigga, I can slap box with pre-crisis Superman. Yeah, that nigga who towed planets. That's one of your icons.
By the power of Grayskull.
Hell's going Now, some people may say metabolism. Not really, because you're young, you're going to have a young metabolism. Here's one of the biggest problems, right? One, you're not lifting. Think about it. Testosterone is probably generationally at an all time low. You don't see the average guy lifting anymore. The average Gen Z, the average Gen Alpha wants to be cute than manly. Meaning, I want to have hair. You know why? Because a lot of them were inundated by bitches. Why do you want to look like a bitch? It's beyond me. So in other words, you got to remember, if you're telling me that you're raised with your mom, how many mothers are going to raise you to the point where you're manly? They don't have an idea of what a man is. Proven fact. Look at how they raise their boys. Look at the boys they raise. If you're looking like that, but you're not lifting, the testosterone is lower. You notice the girls are getting more aggressive. So let's look at this. I've actually met Lou Ferrigno. That man was huge. You don't have playtime. Before I left for the service, I was a buck 10. I gained 50 pounds almost in 2 years later. Most of it came from this year and from overeating. Psych, let me stop. Hopefully, you put some muscle on your narrow ass. Hopefully. But you got to remember, their boys now are inundated to be pretty. They're not inundated to be manly, dirty. Somebody who can lift. If somebody fell, they struggle to lift a person. You have to have some type of struggle to be in certain areas. Even the women say, "I want a man. I don't want a man with too much muscle," because a lot of women really want to be able to overpower you. But they'll tell you one thing for you not to feel bad. But guess what? Guess what they're doing? They're fucking the guy with the muscle. They're fucking the guy who is manly. Look at some of what the chicks. Look at the chicks who they marry, and look at the chicks who they have the babies by. Stark differences, right? Stark differences. How come the so-called bad guy always have a clear access to a lot of these chicks' pussy? The so-called dangerous dude who she think is dangerous. Yep, 200 on the bench, which is an improvement because, boy, last time I saw you bench, we were praying for you, kid. I'm glad you got there. Glad you got there. Now, you got to think about it. You had to lift because, one, you wanted to do it, and two, for your job. You don't want to be the one, I don't give a fuck if you're intelligent or not. You don't want to be the one lacking. You don't. It sucks. Nobody wants to be the chick or the dude lacking, especially when it comes to physicality. A lot of these dudes are not taught how to be handy, how to deal with stress, how to fight. Everybody's got to have hair. Everybody's got to be pretty. The bitches really want a lesbian relationship with a real dick. So if you're not exercising and you're not putting in enough calories, it's gonna be very hard. Give me some more questions. And let's face it, the average PE in most of these schools is piss poor. So where are you going to learn physical fitness unless you go on YouTube? Unless you, most people don't know how to work. Like think about it. I've been working out since what 14. I'm 44. I got 30 years on my belt. A lot of these kids are not getting proper nutrition. Blue Takis and goddamn cut waters are not fucking nutritious. It's not gonna build shit. It's not filling. Yakami boxes are not filling. You're not gonna build shit off of that. So yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, give me more questions. More questions. Even when I was a complete nerd and socially inert when younger, I was still doing push ups, sit ups, and hitting the gym, doing something since middle school and high school. Exactly. Physical fitness should be part of the program. Yes, you should take an investment and buy your weights. Even in tax season. Invest in what you want. Either save it or invest it into something like, hey, I'm going to get some weights and I'm going to go to the gym. Hey, go. If you really want a good deal on weights, which are used, and weights you can buy used, um, go to Facebook Marketplace. I'm trying to get my Aaron Donald on and give me 120 pounders. So go on Facebook Marketplace, build your gym up at home. There's never an excuse. I think a man is not a man until he just digs deep and try to build his body to the best way he can. You should build your intellectualism, your emotional intelligence, your spirituality, and your mental prowess equally. That's a manly. Because nowadays you're basically being raised to be a bitch, not a girl, a bitch. If your kid can't do 10 push-ups or 20 push-ups and he's 17, 18, something's dramatically wrong. Well, what if he gets hurt? He's a fucking boy. Eventually, he's going to have to protect somebody, including himself. And I'm tired of this shit. And I'm gonna say this very vividly. And I'm talking to single mothers. If you got the audacity to be a single mother, the least you could do is put your son in some kind of hand-to-hand combat or some type of wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, or MMA class. But we all know the reason why you won't do it is because you're scared he's going to use it against him because you like beating the shit out of your kid when you think he's not listening. That's not true. But then you'll complain to men that my son is having trouble defending himself. Why don't you put him in a fucking karate or boxing or wrestling? I was dating a chick. She said her son was getting picked on. Okay, bring him over to the house for a week. I bet you nobody will pick on his ass with all the mean motherfuckers here. Oh, he'll need help. He got a father. Obviously, his father failed him. Do you ever work the bits at boxing? Also, your assessment of Baltimore PD, SWAT, SRT, are they cross-trained with other units? Yes, they do. I was friends with a couple of them. You know, we worked in the same squad. A couple of guys went into the SWAT unit. Hell, the guy who ran PT in the academy was a former black guy. You know, Efren Edwards was a former college football running back, and he was also a sniper. He even said one time that I would be perfect for it because one, I know what I'm doing, and two, I've been in those judgment situations before. Even he said that to me while I was in the academy. It's one reason, I have a son. I had to raise my son. I think it's one of the top. I think any metropolitan SWAT unit is going to be top tier just for the sake of having so much to do. There's always so much to do in a major metropolitan area like a Baltimore, a New York, a Philly, a Detroit, and other places. When you have that major metropolitan area, oh, you're going to get some action. You're going to get some hostage barricades. You're going to get some highly dangerous or high value targets. You're going to get a lot of it. So I think they're very up there with any comparable of any SWAT. You can put them in. That's the one thing about SWAT. One, they changed the name to SWAT because SWAT is federal money, and two, it's synonymous with that type of thing. Oh yeah, you got to definitely go get the fitness bands. Especially, I think you need some fitness bands and resistance bands, especially if you're sore or if you're injured. You don't have to lift the weight, but you're still getting the resistance, and that's the most important part, especially for beginners or once again people who are injured. Come on with the questions. Don't forget to hit the cash app. You know, cigars, liquor, and gas don't cost nothing but freedom. Oh yeah. If you don't know the cash app, it's in the ticker. And it's also in the chat. You know, let's not forget that building the body's physique actually feeds the brain and its processing. Yes, it does. One of the one of the saddest parts is a lot of chicks now can't cook, but a lot of chicks are single moms. So with that being said, how the hell how the hell is it that your kids are not getting the nourishment they need? I am talking to you guys. We're playing GTA 5, so if you hear me screaming the song "Stepping Out," just sing along. Don't embarrass me too bad. Stepping out, the shit rocks. Fuck y'all. Is there a local chess program for youth, and how do we address the issue of the short attention span and impulse control? Um, One, parenting. being a parent means when you discipline your child or punish your child, you essentially have to punish yourself. And that's one of the issues with parenting is that you have to be disciplined yourself. The impulse control is look at some of these parents. Why aren't you reading to your kids? Why aren't you telling your kids stories? When you told a kid story, what are you doing? You're training their impulse control. Their you're changing their mindset from being, short tempered. You're giving them something else to think about. You're helping with their imagination. You're taking their short attention span away because now, if they want to hear the story or they want to read the story, they got to be all in. But it comes back to parenting and also teaching. How interesting are you? Because if you're going to be a parent for any of you younger cats, you're going to have to be very, very, very patient and developed mentally. This is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of these children have short attention spans, can't pay attention for shit. Um, if you have a short attention span, guess what your children are going to develop? You can't have the attention span of a fruit fly and think you're going to train world beaters. Reading is one of them, and parenting. Like you said, teach a child how to play chess. If you have a tablet, teach your child how to play Risk. And sometimes the World at War game, oh my God, one time it took me 24 hours to win. You learn sacrifice. You learn when to retreat. You learn when to attack. If you're not if you're not gaining something, because let's say you go to the military, there's and you're on a mission for reconnaissance. If anybody's ever done any reconnaissance missions, that's not glory work, okay? Sometimes you gotta lay in the dirt or lay in your goddamn Humvee, sometimes periodically or literally for minutes, hours at end, living through life through a fucking pair of binoculars or a scope. Think of most snipers that go out there and do reconnaissance. I've been on reconnaissance missions. Those are tedious as fuck, man. And another thing that we really don't do too much in the black community that'll give you patience? Take your children hunting, fishing, or knitting, or something that takes total preparation and time. Because once you develop that patience, it's a venue to life. You can read books longer. You can work on term papers. I can't believe you have some people complain about a 2-page term paper when I had to turn in a 40-page term paper on a typewriter. That means 80 written. Any more questions? Come on, keep it going with the questions. Oh yeah, that stepping out shit you be rocking. But I think that everybody in a city can really start their own chess club. We have to put the fun in being intelligent again. Does the local Hells Angels in Baltimore have issues with the black community? Not too much, because the Hells Angels, the funniest part of where the Hells Angels are located in Baltimore. They're located in the last time I checked, this is sector 1 of the Northern District. Hopefully it still is, because unless they did the redistricting and it's somebody else's, but the the Hell's Angels office, which they never gave us too much bother. They never gave us bother. You rarely heard calls in that area anyway. They were pretty good at policing their own shit. So where they were located was in the same area where the transsexuals were frequently being so-called women of the night. So you'll see a big man with a beard and 6'5" with a vest on, patrolling the area. And across the street, you'll see another dude 6'5" with a dress on, looking for a couple of Johns. So they did their own policing. They didn't give us too much trouble. At least when I was there, they didn't give us too much trouble. Should black men get their physical? I think black men should get their shit twice. I honestly, really, that's a good question. Do you want me to give you my black pill answer? Give me a woo if you want me to give a black pill answer to this shit. Black men have some of the worst health conditions in America, which is piss poor and a damn shame. I really think that I really think black men should get their checkups quarterly, every 4 months, so we actually make it better. In my honest opinion, I think black men die too young, and we don't have a good quality of life in our elder years. So I think that black men should actually get their shit quarterly until we increase the life expectancy of black men. I think we should do it quarterly or or at least bi-yearly. I think that every black man should have a blood pressure cuff, electric or what. I think that every black man should check their heart, cholesterol, testosterone, and their blood pressure. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. And I think that we need to really have a real talk about black health because nobody gives a fuck about you like you. Even if you got elder black men, I think we should get them into resistance bands training to their capabilities, of course, but also walking. It doesn't have to be far, but walking does the soul a lot of good. A lot of good. Because COVID fucked me up with a lot of stamina issues before, so it takes a while to get back on your step. Keep going with the questions. We got 25 watching. Let me know who's watching. Woo, thank you for watching. Hit the cash app. Where the dollars at? Support your interests, people. Support your interests. No, every man should get some sleep apnea. Don't be afraid to lose weight. Don't be afraid to change your dietary. Don't be afraid. Come on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. We got 27 people. Hit me up. Oh shit. Oh shit, what did I do? Anybody wants to get on here? What do you expect perfection? Why do you expect perfection out of our heroes? Um, Good question. Because When you're literally a downtrodden people, oh shit, got a cash app. We just bust the boy. I'm not gonna say the full name, but you know, F, you know, BF. Thank you, BF. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Thank you, BF, for the cash app salute. Now, the reason why we expect perfection from our heroes is because one, we lack a lot of shit in our own right. We really do. We lack a lot of faith in ourselves. We forget that we'll take Superman. What's more important, the super or the man? So we find out in his best stories, it's the man's humanity that makes him super. And until we get to that point where we understand that everybody's a finite being that makes mistakes, we're so quick to shun people. When in the right situation, what's up, Electrician 480, one of the faithful? We have to understand that people make mistakes. No one's perfect. We like to put all these people who achieve great things and say this person's perfection. No, this person could be perfect in one aspect, but he's not perfect in all. Even if you're the greatest, doesn't mean truly perfection. Because we forget that we deitized a lot of people, and we fail. And sometimes when we put a person on a pedestal, we like to take away some of our failures, some of our flaws away. That's why a lot of us love comic book heroes and anime heroes. Why? Because there's an aspect of them showing strength, perseverance, dedication, not only in the face of danger, but also courage, kindness, compassion, something that a lot of us truly lack. Because more and more, each passing month and day, you're noticing outside of your homes, you see a lack of humanity. You're seeing a lack of respect. But the one thing we should never do is allow other people to disrespect our heroes. Think about it. Most of the heroes of the white community were what? Slave owners. Most of the most vaunted men in the white community were slave owners. Well, the founding fathers were great men who owned people. But they're quick to defend. Well, those were different times back then. But you got people like B. Simone. Oh, MLK cheated on his wife. Bitch, how you know? We rather believe the sensational lie over the simplistic truth. They try to say Malcolm X was homosexual. He wasn't. But why would you believe the enemy who has what? A profiting, a profiteering motive for the destruction of those heroes? And then let's look at us as black people. We have a tendency to hate on our own more than anybody. We have a tendency to hate on our own If one black person does something great, oh, he ain't shit. We would call Dr. Ben Carson crazy or stupid. A man who literally had a book called Gifted Hands, we would call him stupid. And this is what places like what the Democratic Party will tell you because of, oh, he was with Trump, or he's a Republican. Really? This lets me know where the black community is when it comes to heroes. You don't hear shit about Condoleezza Rice. You don't hear shit anymore about Ben Carson. You don't hear shit about anybody who has a difference of opinion but still have a greatness about them. Something that 99.99999% of the world cannot do. Because we allow everybody else to tell us who our heroes are when they get to pick their own. And that's shameful. As the old good book would say, if ye is without sin, then cast the first damn stone. And I met Ben Carson when I was working at Hopkins Security decades ago now. Brilliant man. Brilliant man. Why isn't he the Surgeon General? Why isn't he the Surgeon General? And too many, and this is, I'm gonna go real in retrospect about this, right? For T. Ridley. Hopefully you're still there. When you look at the black community, does it pay to be a hero? Let's be honest. Does it pay to be a hero in the black community? Oh, history is never kind. History is only kind to the victors who write it. I want you to realize this, right? What do you get from standing up and being a hero for black people? What do you truly get as being a hero for black people? Look at Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby sent more black people to college than the United Negro Fund. And look how black society turned their back on him. Black people assassinate their heroes. All the people who complained about Cosby and you got money from his organizations, give it back. Give it back. We assassinate our heroes. How many black people turned against Michael Vick? But y'all pretty forgiving for a motherfucker who was president of the United States cheating on his wife. All he got to do is play a saxophone and talk like a nigga. Anytime you see a black police officer doing his job and not mistreating people, he's a pig. Think about it. You make songs, black cop, but then you expect loyalty from black cops. Let's just talk about it. How many disgruntled old black men tell young black men don't join the white man's military? Like, nigga, do you have a GI Bill in your pocket? Because let's just face this. We only like our heroes when they can do something for us directly. If the hero says, pull up your pants, grab an education, stop dressing like a whore, we hate them. Felicia Rashad, good people. Goddamn Claire Huxtable was hated on by a bunch of unsavory motherfuckers for telling them that they don't have to dress so provocatively. A message that you could look at one of the most beautiful women to our day, to this day, even in her elder years, still lovely, giving you advice that you don't have to show everything to show your beauty. And what do? Black females went against her. Look at R. Kelly, not condoning him messing with young underage girls. But these are the same motherfuckers that said, hey, what? What he did was wrong. But these chicks were chasing older men. If you have a sister that's above the age of 20 or 21 or 30, I bet you she had 20. If she was 16, I bet you she had 20-something-year-old boyfriends before. But we're so quick to condemn people. And the people we need to condemn, we don't say shit about it. We're silent about it. It's disgusting. The drug dealer gets more respect than the police officer. The gangbanger gets more respect than the person actually going to a trade or going to complete their degree and insert subject matter here. When BGS constantly state that we are ass backwards to nature, why do you think it's hard to have your heroes? It doesn't pay to. Why do you think it's so easy and so profitable in the black community? In the white community to be a Brandon Tatum than it is to be a Charles Faulkner Jr. in the black community. Why is that? Say what you want about white people. At least they pay their coons. Most of the heroes fall. How come all of our heroes died broke? This is my issue with black men. Money, mouth. Where is it? Men like Dr. T, Dr. Neil, BGS, and Dr. Dunbar should be paid handsomely for lectures. Are they the only ones? No. I mean, hell, look how long it took Green Gorilla to come back. I even had somebody try to say, I'm going to talk to your supervision in the department about what you speak of. I said, go ahead. They're listening. My coworkers agree. Even the women. Go ahead. We should be so solid that nobody can make a threat against a black manosphere's livelihood. How about them fucking apples? How about those? One of the most horrific things you have out here. We do a lot of shit that's backwards. Yeah, you're right. They do get religious. What's up, Naaman?
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
No,
Uh,
up the questions. Keep
hmm?
pumping up the questions. I want me to answer. You,
Well, I got
Naaman.
a couple questions. Well, I'm good. I got a couple questions myself. Since we were talking about health earlier, how important is it for Black men to seek mental health, but more importantly, do the research to find out if the person that they're seeing they're getting consultations from is competent or not?
Well, you should know within the first session or two.
Hmm.
Number one, we're gonna have to put our money where our mouth is, and we're gonna have to get more black male psychologists. We're gonna have to.
Who were not indoctrinated,
Even
because
if
that
you're
is one of the
indoctrinated,
biggest failures. No,
even if you're
because indoctrination is a huge problem in the mental health level. Go ahead. Excuse me.
even if you're indoctrinated,
Hmm.
it's hard to overlook black men's problems. They are readily fucking available,
Hmm.
and it's very disingenuous to lie and say they don't exist. Very
Yeah.
And when you look at black men, what thanks do we get?
None.
At some point, we have to put interest in our own words. I want you to think about this, right? Content creating, if we took all the black men and the average black man in these content creator spaces make
Hmm.
$75,000-$80,000, and I'm not pocket. Some make higher than us. The black manosphere
Uh,
can literally be a channel.
hmm.
Literally, syndication.
Would
Continually.
they ever allow you to get syndicated? Would they allow you to be syndicated? Is the question.
Well, the formatted way you would do it.
Hmm.
Let's say you start with Dr. T's videos, his recorded videos.
Ah, yes.
Then you go to Dr. Thunder. Then you go to who? Roger Report. Then after Roger Report, somebody takes the early afternoon to about what, 5:45 Eastern Standard Time, BGS. After BGS, whomever, and I'll form the head, and I'll take the rear.
The late nights. The late night. That's you, the king of the late nights. And let's not forget our favorite, a certain, and you got also on the weekends. You got certain cats who do certain weekly
You got people who
shows.
usually Tuesdays, Fridays. You have Art News Style.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have Media with the Coliseum on Saturdays. That can be very formatted.
Saturday nights, Saturday afternoons. You also got the weekly discussions with Inspired Truth.
Yeah. So we can do some things. It's just that here's the problem. Black men have to start paying like they're laying. Do you think there will ever be a black Elon Musk? There were. We just didn't support him.
People wanted to take from them and not receive. And when you did, and there's something I remember having a conversation with a couple of brothers about this. Black people in America, you guys have to deal with something called flat blackness, which is a form of collectivism, which is very negative, and the fact that some people think that because you're all one color, you're all peoples, and y'all should be looking out for one another like that. Even though some of y'all are trifling, some people are no good, and they think they're just entitled to your support just because you're black, the same race. I'm like, you're a fellow brother, and even though what I'm trying to achieve, you are just going to be a complete hindrance to,
Well, how are you gonna?
or what
How
you're
you
trying to
gonna
get me to help.
Well, how are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
achieve if everybody's stealing from you?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was very hard not to see a doctor in the neighborhood because the doctor, the lawyers, they might have lived in the better part of the neighborhood, but they lived in the neighborhood. Why don't we do it now? Because everybody will break in their houses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Why is it cops don't live in the neighborhoods they police? Because they know their families are going to get targeted. Same for firefighters or other basic services.
And you got to look at it from a standpoint. One, we got to have an established coalition. Two, get rid of the head nigga in charge a little bit.
Highlander
Why
syndrome.
go ahead?
Highlander syndrome. There could be only one. Never on charge. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then, for some odd reason, we don't like to talk about, hey, we have to internally cleanse what we have in ourselves before we look at the women.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
Absolutely.
cleanse ourselves at the women. Why? There's something internally wrong with you if you keep picking the same fucked up women. Your
Everybody's got a
masculinity,
pattern.
your masculinity, your aura is supposed to be a force field against stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Until you're ready to take that turn, what are you here for? Yeah, talk bad about the women. But then you go back to those women. Why? My job is not to convince the women of shit.
Nope.
The women know why they fucked up. The women know why they should lose weight. They know their problems. They just ain't going to do it. So go find women who will. I could take a woman and get her in shape in 6 months, 8 months. We need to stop looking at the black manosphere as popcorn, and we need to look at it as Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to take time in that goddamn oven. Don't forget
Some
to hit
people
the
just look at
cash.
it not like popcorn, but more like TV dinners.
We need to start looking at it as Thanksgiving. Put
Mm-hmm.
your Tom elbows and foot in that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear something that you think is unjustifiably or justified or officer's opinion or sergeant's opinion? Pay like you weigh. Hey, if I don't have to work and you paying me to work for you, guess who voiced I am? You know why the women have such a voice on their side? Guess who they pay?
They're content creators. They pay the
Mhm.
people who make them feel good. The people who say the things they want to hear.
You wonder why black church ain't shit? Guess who pay?
Black women.
Mm-hmm.
To hear the
wonder why-
pastor speak.
You wonder why black Democrats ain't shit and doing shit on behalf of women? Guess who pay?
Black women.
Number one rule: kings pay. Kings pay what they say.
Absolutely.
Get rid of that cheap project mentality that you can just, hey, I voted and that's going to get me my way. Get the fuck out of here. Or as the Bible
Nope.
say, get me, Satan.
No, Charles, we have to come out at a 70% rate to get anything.
Bullshit.
Don't worry, I'm going to talk about that in about 15 minutes.
Look what Asians do. Asians damn near rule black economy.
Yep.
They pull the resources and work together as a collective.
But no, Charles, all we have to do is kiss the Democrat Party's ass just a little bit harder. And then they'll
Wow.
Can you be a little bit softer?
go ahead.
Finish what you're saying.
We just need to kiss the Democrat Party's ass a little bit harder. Then they might do what we asked them to do.
Guess what?
Quote unquote might.
People, and that's funny. I'd rather beat my kids' asses in the medical school than to bail their asses out of central bookings.
Yeah.
See, white people only say that beating your kids or disciplining your kids is wrong. But they the same motherfuckers that throw their kids out for disgracing them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe that bullshit.
They'll disown their children in a hot second.
So exactly. You telling me right now, today, that we're doing better or are we doing worse educationally?
Worse.
Why don't you give your sons to their fathers? Anybody want to get on the panel? The link right there. Whether you agree or disagree, the link's right there.
Why aren't there more resources available to invest into the Black communities
I'm going to tell you why.
to make them stronger?
Number one, I'm going to invest in your community by building that's going to raise the taxes so you can't afford your taxes and kick you out of them. Because we want that old thing back.
Hey, what's up, panel?
We don't invest in our communities because we tell the world we don't think we're worth investing in. We have too much of a worker mentality, not a conqueror's mentality.
You guys are
Remember,
basically constant consumers.
when a kid, think about it, you have low self-esteem. How the fuck can you conquer something if your women have an issue of wearing their own goddamn hair? If a nigga need a petty piece of chain to feel better about themselves, how can you get over shit? Tell me, what culture wears another culture's hair and succeeds?
No one.
The Egyptians back in
I'll
the
wait.
day. The Egyptians back in the
Egypt.
day, and then maybe some of those older judges from America. You know, with the whole white
Mhm.
wig. But I mean, overall, yeah, you don't really have many cultures wearing other people's hair. You know,
Mm.
especially uh, containing the texture of the oppressor. You know.
Ancient Egyptians, when they wore the hair, it was of the hair that was indigenous to their style. And a lot of people don't know this, but the pharaohs and their queens kept their heads shaved for hygienic reasons. Most people either kept their hair real tight or they would shave their heads and wear wigs. Lice was a huge problem. Head lice was a huge problem for much of the ancient Egypt. Other groups they also wore wigs, but it was to look authentic to that style of hair of that region. You're not going to see ancient Persians wearing wigs and made of afro hair. They weren't wearing puff afro wigs. No, they wear hair that was curly.
Yeah, but you know, when we talk about modern, we're talking about modern people though. If we talk about modern people, I mean, there really is no other group. You know, you got
No,
people who come over here, or we got people who, you know, it's like they've been sold that they've been inferior, right? They've been sold on that their beauty standard is inferior. You know, I actually had a conversation with my wife, who is dark skinned Haitian, you know,
all
and
right.
she started bringing out the whole, oh yeah, they like lighter skin, and they like, you know, you guys like a lot of black men don't like you know, dark skin. They don't like the features of black people. And I told her straight up, I was like, there was one white girl back in the day I didn't find particularly attractive, but what I really liked about her was that she was actually nice to me. And I told her straight up, I
She
was
had a
like,
kind heart.
yeah, she was,
Ellie, what?
even if she wanted to walk out, or you know, she walked out quietly. You know, when she wanted to leave, she didn't make it toxic. But you know, I was like, that's kind of what I like,
I mean,
right?
come on. White girl niggas like technically it's the pain.
Huh?
Only white girl niggas like is Topanga. So,
Yeah. I mean,
but we got to look at what
I
goes
would beg to
on.
bit. I would beg to differ, but this is not my show.
Only white girls niggas like is Topanga. So shit. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it to you this way, right? I'm not particularly attracted to white women, but I understand why dudes will pick them. You know why? How are you treated means more than what you look like to a lot
exactly,
of men. Well, I look like this, and I thought, how do you treat them?
exactly.
Nobody wants to talk about the treatment.
And the funny thing is a lot of the black girls and you know, who make it into college and grad school at PWIs, they mess around with those with white men and Asian and Latino, and then they come over here, or they tell us, you know, what we why we mess with other people. As kind of, I think it's a form of projection, right? Most black men, you see like the conversation. Um, like, a lot of black women like to say, "Oh, you can date them, just don't compare them to us." But when you actually listen to what black men are talking about, it's all about behavior, right? Are you stuffing your face, not exercising? You know, are you wearing your hair that's not yours? And are you a bitch to the men around you? You know, and if all that is no, you probably can get a decent black man to like you.
It's almost definite.
You know, and and I actually like darker skinned women, even though I'm a little lighter myself.
Nice contrast.
It's not about the contrast. I mean, it's the overall skin tone, right?
Mhm. No, the contrast between you and her. They're
I mean,
okay.
I don't look at all that because
Fair
you
enough.
know because a lot of those people will say contrast between a white man and a dark skinned black girl is even more, and they'll say, oh, nice contrast with that. So I don't really do all that.
Mhm.
Here's the shame about the contrast is this. When let's look at it, right? When you get let's look at black men and black women. Black men are never going to be challenged about are always going to be challenged about their love interests. When black women make a choice, everybody's cheering for them. They'll never talk about, oh, that black man is an abuser, that white man is an abuser. I mean, that white man is an abuser, even though it's significantly high. For what? For them to get abused. But they'll still go through this shit anyway. Why? Just because of the white skin. To get that much closer to privilege.
Yeah.
You know,
And they know if they let that man go, and oftentimes they know that, if they let him go,
I want you to think
he's
about
going to
this,
find
right?
somebody better. He's going to find somebody better.
I want you to think about this, right?
Mhm.
When a white man, if he chooses to say, hey, I'm going to leave this black
Yeah.
family alone and the kids you got,
Uh-huh.
he could do that very easily, can he?
Mm-hmm. Very easily.
So, what's the difference? Still there, folks?
I'm still here.
So, I want you to think about this. He comes out and say, hey, I'm leaving. Guess who's stuck with that mixed kid? But then you still the people who complain about that mixed child, but you're the one who created him. Such a dichotomy. Oh, that's not true. That's
and
not right.
resent that and resent that child. Or that child is a trophy of some kind or a consolation prize.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever notice how how mixed children are treated compared to black children? Excuse me.
by who?
Yeah, let me just by
By
black
who?
folks. By black folks.
By black folks or
Yeah.
by black mothers?
By by the black women, by the women in their family.
And I don't really see black men treating mixed kids
Black
better
women.
than.
Oh, yeah. By the way, hold on. Got to salute my other brother. Shout out to Electrician 480. We're gonna have to give you the. We're gonna have to give you a salute for your donation. Should come on. One more time. Bring it back and slow. Ah, damn, these StreamYards.
Damn.
Thank you once again. Thank you once again, Electrician 480.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Damn. Did they hit him as hard as a fucking limp man like that?
I gotta see that shit one more time. That shit is so funny to me.
Nigga uppercutted his ass in the orbit. That shit was crazy.
Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Nolan and his durability. God damn. That nigga's giving a
Ouch.
shit. Shaw, you can. That motherfucker giving out Ultra 3 ass weapons. Now, here, what's the other question you want to get my point of view on? Somebody give me a question. Pick the
I don't
folks,
have a
man.
question, but I just noticed Jeff St. James having a panel with Obsidian, and part of me wants to have a super chat asking him to bring you on.
What's
I
you
think
said?
part of me wants to super chat Jeff St. James with Obsidian on their show, asking you to bring you on, but I don't know. That might be a little too forward.
Hey, if you want to do it, do it. Shit, bring me on. Huh? You think the one with BGS was great? Oh boy, we gonna get lively.
Baltimore versus Philly. It's gonna be interesting.
You
What
think
the hell?
BGS? What's up?
Nah, I kind of just joined in back late, so I lost the context of everything. I'm just here right now.
I'll just basically see if I can answer the questions or my point of view of a lot of shit.
Type shit.
Like hey,
Yeah,
if Jeff wants to have me on his show, hey, bring Charles Faulkner on the show. Like hell, I'll do it.
We want Faulkner. We want Faulkner. We
Why the hell
want
not?
Faulkner.
Like you think I'm not afraid to say some shit? I'll be like, look, what do you think of marriage? I think marriage in America is dead. And it's not the men who killed it.
Definitely not. But I can't say too much shit.
I said, well, you're married. Young, but married.
Yeah.
I think that's what you want. Is it what you
I was
want?
like, yeah. Oh, my fault. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. My bad.
You know,
I
I
mean,
want to disagree with you, Charles. You know, as someone who is married, but you know,
I don't think individual marriage are dead, but I think the overall sanctity of it is that it's unprotected. You supposed to be death do you part, but it's like
yeah.
The institution of it.
I mean, but there's a lot that I had to let slide to be able to accept and stay married, and there's a lot of stuff that I've had to change about myself. because you can't punish, you can't yell. It doesn't work. You know, you can't do anything
Well,
abusive. They believe that you're abusive or some crap like
well,
that. But
well, you're married for a reason. You have an
yeah,
established reason.
yeah, I got
Most
two
people don't.
kids.
Like if I
Um,
was in the NFL or NBA, I wouldn't get married till I'm out, wherever. To me personally, would I keep a person from being married? Not necessarily. That's how you think about it.
I will
Is this
say, I will
get
say
counseling?
that if I did not get married, I'd probably be a surgeon. I probably would still be in the military doing some sort of surgery or another specialty. That played a role in kind of
Hmm.
my distraction and having to do a
Yeah,
little career pivot aside from
yeah.
the medical
Because if
I had.
you have children, when you have children, and when you're married or you have children or both, you can't be as adventurous with your time and money as you would like to be,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's like I tell anybody before you get into something like that, make sure you and that person understand each other on the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, and the mental. Get counseling, talk to wiser people. Yes, there are roles. We're not partners. Okay? You're not Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and I'm not Bret the Hitman Hart. There are
Yeah. I
things that
mean,
I'm I'm gonna
I
take a
will
manly
say
role.
I will say that it takes a special sort of counseling to actually um, promote change when you are married
Mm-hmm.
to a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a special. I think the best couples counseling I had was from some purple-haired white woman. I was like, wow, this is. I was surprised. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the it was actually kind of interesting because she was like, yeah, she has to be accountable for what she's done. And I was like, wow, a woman telling me that another woman has to be accountable. After I laid out
Us.
everything.
And think about it. When are women told they have to be accountable?
Almost
You got
never.
Clarissa. You got Clarissa
I
Shields talking about she could beat up insert this boxer here because they're the same weight.
no.
I say, you know what? Since y'all wanted this equality, go right ahead, make the fight and make it brutal.
This is as dumb as when what's her name? Venus? No, no, it's not Venus. Serena Williams said she could compete in the ATP. I'm
She
like,
couldn't have. She said
no.
she could. Gail was like trying. See, first of all, these reporters are drones. They don't know anything about sports.
Hmm.
What the fuck does Gail really know about sports? You had a white woman tell fucking Jason. What was his
Gail
name?
King.
Not Gail King. What was like she told what's the dude with the air gap in his mouth? Straight hair.
Michael Strahan.
This white, the white chick tried to go and tell him she knows probably more football than he does. They get a Hall of Fame, a Super Bowl champion.
You guys need to look up Lucia Riker.
Hmm.
Lucia Riker.
Hmm.
LuciaRijker. She's a Dutch kickboxer. Back in the day, multiple world titles.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you got this is the worst thing. It's always the competition. Like, hey, do whatever a man can do until it gets hard. Like, Like Charles, would you get married? Sure, if it doesn't come up in rules, like kind of be together without drama.
Sorry, did I cut out?
No, you're good.
I think you did for a moment. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. So Lucia Reicher, Rajaker. Lucia
Riker, yes.
Lucia. She had
Okay.
so she's a kickboxer back in the day. Multiple world title, decorated. Had an exhibition match with a no-name male fighter, and she got, and it was a one-sided match.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look it up.
And it's like until I look at relationships the same way. That person has to be all in. Because if they're not, what you doing it for? I'm looking at some of these basketball players. How do you justify paying somebody $100,000 a month for spousal support? What the fuck am I supporting?
Because of the lifestyle they got used to. You remember that? Remember what was it that Chris Rock said about that shit, about prenups and everything, and saying women talking about I'm accustomed to this, I'm accustomed to that, I'm accustomed to this. What the fuck is a custom got to do with anything? You're never gonna hear a man say, "Your Honor, check this out." Now I'm used to getting in some 3 times a week. I wouldn't mind. I mean, if I'm gonna be paying child support, I should at least get some, twice a week or some shit like that. You don't hear shit like that. So what are you asking for custom? And sometimes I say, in the case of child support, this, I'm like, how much you need to pay to support a child?
Because I'm supposed to support the child, not your bills.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example that kind of further black pilled me when it came to marriage. My father-in-law, apparently, for some reason, they claim that he cheated, right? Which, that happens, and that's grounds for divorce. In most cases, right? But tell me why he got some domestic abuse situation. She has the house. He may have not been working after his taxi delivery service. His taxi service kind of failed in New York City, and he's not living in the house at all. Usually in a divorce it goes one way, and I know she looks at me, and she can tell that I look at her strangely where other people don't. And one day she said to me, "But I didn't want him to take away all that I built." And I'm thinking to myself, so you got a man who came from Haiti, a third world country, right? You guys came together. You guys built something, had 2 kids. His business failed. She went and did nursing. So she was a breadwinner at that time, but he was taking care of the children, right? Dressing, bathing, teaching them, whatever. After an accident occurred, and after that divorce, you call a domestic violence case and use that to take away all the money that should have been split.
And the kids.
And the kids are on her side. And I don't know if she there's a lot of circumstances. Maybe she quit putting out for months, right? And someone at the church, started cooking that good food, and one thing led to another. But I don't want to blame cheating on her, but at the same time, the law is there for a reason, and the false allegation of weaponizing white supremacy against a foreign-born black male in America. So, ever since then, I was like, you know what? What if that could happen to me? What if someone could claim domestic violence and everyone believes them? As a matter of fact, I had a case like that when I was younger with an ex-girlfriend when I put her stuff on the curb, when I was in a long distance relationship, and I said, nah, I don't want to do this. Put her stuff on the curb. She went to come get her stuff, and a police officer showed up, and I just, it hit me years later, like how effed up that was. If you, in the context of being a black man in America, and that person being a black woman, being aware of what goes on. And that's the kind of stuff that black men have to deal with when it comes to marriage. The possibility
of things being weaponized and shit like that. Hell, in my case, since I live in Europe, it can get so out of hand, just like with your father-in-law, that they can end up facing false charges, would end up doing jail time, and then ultimately deportation. I was in a relationship with one woman, and I read the situation as such that, I avoided ending up moving in with her, which saved me a lot because I realized if shit went left, I could end up getting incarcerated or some shit could go ugly, and especially if there was a child involved, I could end up getting deported or something like that.
Exactly.
So thankfully, never had a child with this person, and I never moved in with them. Not that they were a bad person. I just knew that the situation could have gotten ugly.
I mean, it's
because there was no guarantees of safety. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that black men really should stop putting others in front of them. Maybe to a certain extent, like you're willing to sacrifice, but you still got to see yourself as at the top, as the most important, because no one else really does see you as being valuable for who you are. It's just about what you can do. And unfortunately, a false allegation might be the best financial decision for some of these women.
It's immediate payouts.
Oh yes.
They could we'll tell you what, we'll make this go away. All we need you to use is to settle this out of court, have this amount. Otherwise, the judge is going to award me a big settlement. Or sometimes I look at you like, what can you offer me that I can't take from you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anthony Cumia comes to mind about that. If you're familiar with that name.
I need to look it up.
If anybody remembers Opie and Anthony, those Radio Shock jocks, you were friends with Patrice O'Neal. Anthony Cumia, and here's what's fucked up about him. He met his wife when they were younger. And at the time they met, she was dating his older brother. And then somehow they got together. It didn't work out. Thankfully, they didn't have a child. I mean, she had an ectopic pregnancy that could have killed her. And he wished it did, but no. But after they divorced, after 7 years, he had to pay her, what was it, 7 figures in alimony total. And after he said, and thankfully for him, it was just like he just owed her this amount. It wasn't lifetime alimony in his case, especially in New York State, but he counts his blessings. And then afterwards, he was just like, going from one relationship to another. Sometimes he sabotaged, sometimes he wouldn't. And he just wanted, and he just liked being around those types of women, about this particular type of women. The women he was usually getting involved with were quote unquote white trash.
Yeah, those. Yeah,
Now,
white
black
trash
men
is
need to
real.
understand. Yeah. Now, black men, you need to find out what is it that draws you to these types of women that give you the most grief. And sometimes when they get in a successful relationship, because their minds have been so traumatized and whatnot, they try to self-sabotage it. Or they'll go back to the same patterns because that's something familiar. So they don't have to worry about failing in a relationship.
I mean, the real honestly, I think the real issue is um, anti-black misandry is also internalized by black men, so that we do not value
Very.
ourselves. We talk about black women and their internalization of the greater society's anti-black misandry, but we don't really talk about, us as black men valuing ourselves enough to seek educational opportunities, elevate our careers, look after our health. I don't know, even doing fucking like 220 push-ups, every other day if you need to, right? The bare minimum. Like we don't value ourselves enough, our health, our knowledge, our financial health. Um, Hell, the literacy issue. Instead of blaming black women, value yourself enough to value your seeds to increase the literacy because you can't depend on them.
I mean, you can't depend on somebody crossing the street if you can't read a stop sign.
Yeah, that's true.
True. You can't depend on somebody if you can't depend on somebody to drive a car if they won't put on their seatbelt or ride a motorcycle without putting on their helmet first.
I've seen
I mean,
too many ortho trauma surgeries. I've scrubbed into a few of those cases, and I don't think I'll own a motorcycle.
and probably
I,
preventable.
yeah,
Very preventable. A lot of people don't want to admit that a lot of shit that we do is preventable.
yeah.
Charles, remember when we had a discussion about what's the first rule of protection is obey?
Obedience.
Yes, and remember the movie The Bodyguard.
You gotta obey.
How much did Whitney Houston push back to Kevin Costner about changes in her routine, this, that, and the third? Especially because she was in serious danger, dealing with a stalker.
Yeah.
How much he overhauled her security. Like when he looked at the layout of her home, he said, listen, this is what we're gonna do. We need to change this, that, and he had somebody taking notes. Another big guy who's a bodyguard of her was like saying some shit to him because because he was threatened, he felt threatened that he was gonna lose his job. Him teaching the limo driver how to do evasive maneuvers with a stretched limo.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when you had the guys doing construction, to put up all the safety, all the security systems and everything, and she was just not having it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta any of the guys who are married now,
Mm-hmm.
who have been married or currently married, will tell you there are some growing pains when you and your wife start to live together. Anybody who lives with a woman, no.
Hell
Why can't I
yeah.
do this? Because it's not safe. All you gotta tell me that it's real easy. You know why? Because you want me to protect you And part of protection is preventive maintenance. Not
hmm
To a lot of women, they think protection is stand in front of this bullet or talk back to this man who said something maybe a little abrasive to me. Protection is really to avoid that shit in the first place.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to
What's
talk
the
about
one? You know what? Here's what I'll mention. I'm going to mention this since you're talking about that. There was a friend of mine. This is old friend. This is a friend of mine up here. And I said one thing, and I always wanted to say this about her father. Now, she doesn't have any brothers. She has male cousins, but she and her sister are the only kids in that family. Younger sister. And one time I really wanted to say this to her mother. I just said, you know what's the difference between him and the three of you? What's that? Despite the fact he's he's blind in one eye, he has the one thing that y'all are lacking. What's that? Foresight. Because he has to think, foresee, and prepare and take preventative measures so shit doesn't go awry. In the family, that's why, men always talking to a bank about about getting their house in order, insurance policies, this, that, and the third for the prepare for, this, that, and thing, have a nest egg, have some money put aside for this, that, and the third. It's a lot more. It's a help. It's a big help if the woman is on board and she's also planning some of this shit, like managing the money in a certain way. But no.
how the hell. Wait a minute. Allegedly, 7 service members were killed on a carrier today, allegedly because of lack of food. How the hell?
What the hell?
That's some bullshit.
Those carriers supposed to be walking fortresses.
Areas
There's a
are
lot
supposed to
of
be
issues.
protected by destroyers and cruisers and whatnot, so they don't get touched.
I'm like, if that is true, somebody got a lot of explaining to do.
Hell yeah.
Due to lack of food? No. Who the fuck? No. Now, if it was a drone strike or some shit like that,
Man.
but lack of food?
Basically, a
I
lack
don't
of
know.
planning.
I tell people, man, we live in interesting days. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also joined by everybody's favorite mother trucker, A.L. Evans.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas own A.L. Evans.
I'm actually downtown in Austin,
Like
Texas,
you muted.
with the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm actually
Go back.
downtown in the heart of some bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking good right now, A.L., with that cigarette, even though I don't smoke. Shit, you might as well get a black and mild right now.
Nope, I'm good right here. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. I just noticed something. You and Louis kind of look similar, so we could be like, you and Louis could be cousins or some shit like that.
No,
A little bit.
I got a
Little
bone to
bit.
pick with, I got a bone to pick with Louis Kanye, man. Oh, Louis full of shit.
What do you do? What do you do now?
He was running those cocksucker memes last night on Arts Channel. Be in love with chicken, and I'm being me opposed to the damn death bird.
Look, let's get something straight. You and I, let's get something straight, all right? You don't fuck with the death bird. I don't fuck with the fatal swine.
I do.
I know you do. I don't. So let's respect. I like fish too. I just don't mess with the hog or the cow. Because sometimes, especially up here, they mix those two, and I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna mess me up.
More for me. That's cool.
More for you.
More for you with that death bird. You can knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't forget the ugly one they had in November. That one too, especially.
I don't mess with that bird neither. I don't mess
I
with
think
that.
I think what
Green
matters
turkey.
more, how
Mhm.
many times a week are you guys doing cardio and strength?
You do cardio. You want to know how many times I do cardio? I do cardio
Yeah.
every day.
You walk,
What?
you talk.
No, like
I get my
raise your
steps in
heart
every
rate
day.
about over 90, 100. I think that
I
matters
got
more than
I
avoiding
got
pork.
I got more dumb motherfuckers to do that for me than a motherfucker.
Oh well, must be nice.
Shit.
Nice to who?
But
I'm
I'm
trying to
finna
be.
switch up sticks on you, Nemo. I just got through with the cigar already. Now I'm finna mess with the DOPE.
Gotta get you a cigar, my nigga.
Well,
I got
no, no, no.
I got two pre-rolls. I just qualified to enter a study tomorrow that's gonna pay me $2,600 cash money, half when I finish the study, and the other half when I finish the questionnaires via FaceTime and whatnot. It's a study to get me off of weed, but you know I'm gonna play the game. But when I get out, I'll be smoking again.
Shit.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. We don't need them to find out you were saying this shit on here. Delete that shit. Edit that shit out.
You should try.
But
You
I'm gonna
should
say,
try.
but you know what, Al?
Yes, sir.
We might as well be starting playing all them Red Man, Method Man joints, all the Snoop Dogg joints, all the Bone Thugs and Harmony joints. You know what I'm saying?
You should try growing
Give
it
me some of them
yourself.
UGK joints about all that chronic.
You should grow it yourself. It's actually if you
I'm particularly endeavoring to do Pot Wild myself.
You know what? How about let's take it back to 1976. No, 79. Sorry, 79 and play Rick James' favorite girl. That song about Rick James about his favorite girl. You know what I'm saying?
Mary Jane, that's my
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
I love affair.
you should grow it
Me
yourself.
and Rick James, we share her all the time. She's bisexual.
You make it sound like it. This nigga here. This nigga here.
My girlfriend don't discriminate.
I mean, it's kind
Shit,
of
she was
fun.
like she was the lead singer for the Mary Jane Girls, you know? They should have been Mary Jane 5, but she wanted to go solo.
What he say? I'm in love with Mary Jane.
Mary Jane,
She's my main
she's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing.
Oh, you
One of
niggas.
my
And when I'm feeling low, she comes
my
as
many
no
hobbies.
surprise.
One of my many
Turns
hobbies is
me on
drawing.
with love. Takes me to paradise. Feel love with Mary Jane. I need a Jared Crow wig for this one.
I know you do,
Shit.
you now do you
Charles.
think you love me, Mary
Charles.
Jane?
Yeah, I'll say.
For bad. I'm gonna
Don't
get
you
bad
play
for
no games? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what? You know what we did? You know what you did? You know what you did, Al?
What do I need?
If you gonna be bumping that joint, no.
I got what I need right here. This tube right here. I'm perfectly fine. And this tube contains Nature's Healing Leaf. The good Lord put it on this earth for you and me. I'm trying to take advantage, even though my motherfucking punk ass governor, Hot Wheels, handicap Greg Abbott, and bitch ass slant crooked eye ass Attorney General, motherfucking Ken Paxton, dirty no good bastard. Both of them, they want to make this 2 to 5 year felony in the state pen.
Yeah, Texas. Huh?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I grew up in Texas.
They
Yeah,
can suck all kinds of fat baby dicks, fat baby handicap dicks, paralyzed geriatric baby dicks. That's how I feel.
bro. If you can grow, you can definitely get like a pound every single growth, every single cycle. Like half a pound to a pound I've been I've kind of I've been growing a little like a plant here or there for a few years, and if you can do it well, you can. The dispensary stuff is a little bit overdone. It's got too much of the THC. It doesn't got the cannabinoids, and it does cause some issues with some people.
The THC level is a little too high in certain cases.
Yeah, it's like too high. The CBD level's too low, and the terpenes are too low. So, and all of those kind of modulate the high, modulate the feeling and the effects. You can have a low THC like 13%, and then you have like a terpene called myrcene that could actually increase the effects of the high without it being the high THC. So, and the thing that's ruined a lot of the cannabis industry is the fact that they test now. Like they're testing to get the highest THC without understanding the plant.
No, they understand the plant. They understand the plant. It's the state legislators and the politicians that don't understand. See, what's going on in our state is TABC, tobacco, alcohol, and firearms. They want to crack down on it because the TABC controls the liquor, and the liquor industry has taken a severe hit since it's been legalized in my state, to the point where with the double dose of the economy going bad and your president being a cocksucker such as he is, he's doing a bang-up job by the hand. Keep it up, Don Cheeto. Keep it up. All right. Our two dummies of governor and lieutenant general decides we want to cut the state of Oklahoma out. They made them ship everything that was Delta 8, Delta 6, THC-A, and all those hybrids back to Oklahoma, because we was trucking it in just one state over instead of having to go 3 states over in California. 3 states over Colorado, or 4-5 states over for California. So it puts a dent right there. It's their 3-pronged plan. They think they slick. I'm on to them. And number 2, they want to incarcerate as many Californians who move down here, because in California it's legal to smoke pot. Texas, it ain't. See, Texas gets their revenue off of oil, real estate, TDJ, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and politics and whatnot, being low down and dirty. And see, most states got the lottery and they got candidates. We don't want to have none of that. See, everybody in the state wants it, but those 2 hillbilly ass crackers, I call them dick sucker and dick sucker like, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to ruin the party. And the 3rd prong is what they're trying to do is all the people that are born and raised in Texas, you go end up just like those Californians. You go get what I got in my hand will get me 2 to 5, and anything high will get you 5 to 20. And that's it used to be a misdemeanor. And now they increase it to AA. And see, I don't understand why dickhead Cheeto ain't signed that bill, reinstituting it and rescheduling this crap, because it's no way in hell this should be a Schedule 1 drug. You got me messed up and got me bent.
I think they're trying to deschedule to a Schedule 3.
If that's the case, it being a Schedule 3, why the hell are goddamn Attorney General and governor? Because what happened was the year before, when he was running for governor, we voted for the weed. He was with it. The Attorney General, because he's down with the Texas Rangers, goddamn DPS, and motherfucking all those lawyers. They said, no, we need to make more money. We need to incarcerate people. It's like they got a hard on to incarcerate as many people in Texas as they can, because our slogan, don't mess with Texas. which is
Well,
bullshit.
you know they need that sweat equity, right? They
What you
need
say?
that free labor. They need that sweat equity.
Oh yeah.
They need that.
Oh,
They need that
we
free
got
labor.
all the farms, and see what it is, but see, and it's effed up because all the goddamn prisons are full, and they still been full, and they call themselves lighting them up for COVID and whatnot, early releases and whatnot, but they snatched them boys, I have them boys back up like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like it's like the last state to free us, and it's like they want to play the oppression game till the day they die, and they making me sick to my stomach. But see,
Yeah.
I'm finna get ready to get my CDL reinstated. You know what I'm saying? Pay off my last ticket, pay my motherfucking reinstatement fee, get my Class C, and then turn around and go call the goddamn community college, which is affiliated with the truck driving school I graduated from 11 plus years ago. And I'm gonna tell them, look at here, y'all got to honor the lifetime job placement and job reassistance. So guess what? I'm a graduate, a class of 2000, second in my class, Dallas, Texas. So guess what? Whoever's on those roles, you need to bump one off because I got to get in there immediately. And you know, I am not finna mess around because I need to get back to hauling ass, smash gas fast and hauling ass, putting that hammer down, never minding the brakes and letting it all hang out because all hell, I know I got what it takes. I got to get the hell out of Texas. I got to. It ain't shit. It ain't shit here for me.
See that? You got a man who smokes weed with motivation. Right?
My ship will come in tomorrow morning at 12 a.m. when I enter this study. I'm gonna play the game while I'm in that study to get this $2,500. I'll quit smoking weed, but when I get out, I'll be smoking again. And ask me, do I give a damn? Because I don't.
Yeah, but I do think that, you know, taking a break every now and then doesn't clear the head, clear the mind.
Wherever you at and whatever you saying, you're a muffled, so
you know.
You need to come closer to the mic.
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, just speak up a little clearer, and we can go with it.
Hold on 1 second. Let me
See, I think it's like crazy because you would think like a growing state that you could grow weed
We hear
all
you.
year round would actually take advantage of that fucking shit.
Man, it's like they just want to be dickheads to be dickheads. And see, think about it, Charles. Normally, when we pass laws, they don't. Once they see it, just came up. They pass it within
something called
within 3 week a 3 week session, a short session, and it's supposed to go all the way through the legislation for what they passed, and they have to make it law. What they did is they just bypassed all of that and enacted the law that just took effect 2 weeks ago. And they put all the THC dispensaries on the spot and made them have to ship all their stuff back to Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is taking a big ass hit because they have to refund those sales because you can't. They say it's against the law because it's crazy. And on top of that, these fuckers are just diabolical because if they would have passed it the correct way, it would have went a calendar year, and then it would have took effect. Every new law takes effect September the 1st in the state of Texas after they pass a law. But they didn't even do that. They didn't even do that. They didn't even give it a full year. They just say, we just go tell everybody, we go blast it on the airwaves. We done passed the law. If anybody with marijuana, 2 grams or more, it's state felony jail time. Like, if you got people on pins and needles, people tripping out, man. I just seen 3 fights on the corner of down 4th and Guadalupe downtown with they had on boxing gloves, so it was mutual combat. But the laws just kept passing around and blowing their they burps and berries and shit. Like, y'all need to stop. You can't stop them from fighting when they got gloves on and they both agree to it. It's mutual combat. Just as long as they don't stomp each other out, they allow the other person to get up when they get down. Hey, that's a legal street fight.
I will say, so maybe, I don't know if Charles knows this, but I actually broke my ankle, you know, in kickboxing or Muay Thai. You know, I already had some crappy ankles. So I broke it with a
Ouch.
hairline fracture, a fracture towards the I guess the medial side or inside of my ankle. I had to do surgery. I did surgery in 2024, and they gave me a bottle of OxyContin.
Oh.
I took one. That's what I did for the rest of for pain control.
You dealt with it?
No,
You didn't want to be addicted?
I smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah, because I smoke a lot of weed too. Ain't no way I'm getting on that OxyContin, man.
And then I tapered it down because I've seen too many people, especially with the ortho stuff. They take the oxy like nothing, right? To go throughout the day, and they get hooked, and then their life is fucking ruined. You know, maybe it doesn't deal with pain control as much, but it does take the edge off enough. And meanwhile, we as a society, we don't want to explore the potential benefits of cannabis, and there's a lot of them, right? From
Yep.
because
You
there's
can blame the Anglo-Saxon Caucasian Caucasoid cracker for that.
well,
That's
it's
the
not
only
even,
one that's the only one that's putting a damp on everything, because
what
the DWI rates went down, the drug driving went down, the domestic violence went down, everything went down when weed came into town. But see, they don't like that. They want to see people damn near kill themselves so they can incarcerate. It don't make no goddamn sense.
Funny because they're mad because when you don't get the car stops, when you don't get that shit, the tickets, it costs them money.
exactly?
who is the disappointed in me, making me cough, and making me mad? Who making me mad? How can you be disappointed in me? This is my personal choice. Hey, you ain't got to mess with this, man. Hey, guess what? More for me. I'm happy.
I would be careful. I would be careful if you have your CDL and you're online smoking weed. You don't know who's watching and who's willing to report you.
Yeah, but it's in hot right now. I'm about to pay to get it out of hot. So guess what?
Yeah.
They can do all they want to it. And they don't know the date when I'm gonna pay to get it out of hot. And so when I get it out of hot, and then on top of that, I'm going to a study to stop smoking weed. So this is my last day smoking. Anyway, I gotta smoke enough of this stuff. So when I go in there in the morning, I piss hot, piss positive. That way I'll be accepted. So I'm doing this for a reason. It's a method to my madness. And
There's always a method to his madness.
I've never asked not one black man in this world to walk a mile in my shoes. And I ain't asking you to, and don't do it. And hey, this is not for the weak at heart.
Nope.
Oh,
No, it is not.
And this is the kicker. For 11 years, when I had my CDL, I never got a ticket for speed, reckless driving, anything. Have I had accidents? Yes. It was accidents because of other people. They want to run into me. They want to play Russian roulette with an 80,000-pound tractor trailer, and it wasn't my fault. So And all the times that it did happen, God was with me, and it happened to be a state trooper each time at the scene watching the incident happen. So I was the innocent bystander in all that. And on top of that, 11 years, no piss test, coming up hot or positive, do 55 miles
Nope.
an hour, shift my gears, mind my business, and stay in the granny lane. The load to get there when it get there, safe and sound versus not at all. That's my motto.
I mean, see, the real issue is that the piss test that they use it stays in your blood for so long. You know, the other day I queried Gemini about possible cannabis metabolites that could be utilized as a means of testing for recent use, right?
Mhm.
And there are at least 5 of them that could be used. A test could be developed, right? That might be what they use for people who are in safety sensitive positions like truckers and pilots, because I feel like you should be able to go home and smoke a joint, you know, or utilize cannabis for other reasons as needed.
You should never drink and drive. You should never work and drive or fly and drive, because I live by that motto. Heavy machinery with alcohol is
Yeah.
fatal accidents. It's known fact. Smoking nature's healing. No, man. And on top of that, I smoke indica so I can stay wide awake to the T. See, all those white boy drivers, they love popping those uppers, those downers, and those Percocets and Mollies and all that stuff to stay up. Not me. I just do the grass and keep you awake. And all I need is a half a cup of coffee, 2 sweets to warm me up, 2 sweets 250 miles down the line, and 2 sweets when I get to where I get to, and I'm good.
Yeah. Plus your tolerance is so high, so you know.
I knew what came with the risk if I got caught smoking and driving. And guess what? That's why I was proactive and took all the steps necessary and in my driving habits to where I would never be detected. I don't need to drive my truck 85, 95, 105 miles an hour. I pay the fuel for that truck. I pay for the insurance. I pay for the tires. I pay for the maintenance. I pay for the rear. I pay for the drive line. I pay for the transmission. I pay for the engine to get repaired in that truck. So why would you, knowing all this, drive a truck hard? You never drive a truck hard. You need your truck to keep running to make you money. When the wheels stop, you don't make a dime. When the wheels keep rolling, you make bank. So with that being said, I work smart. I don't work hard. And I believe in ergonomics.
Yeah, mellow logic. That's what I was saying, is that, you know, people who smoke should probably consider learning how to grow. You can grow it organically. You can choose your strains. There's a bunch of different websites which think they're about to ban the shipment of seeds across states, but I have like hundreds of myself, autoflowers and photo periods that I want to choose from. But yeah, growing it yourself and learning how to do it yourself helps keep it from being cross-contaminated by people who either spray it with stuff. You know, that's the major issue. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I didn't grow it, I probably wouldn't touch weed ever again. To be honest, that's just me.
Well, no, they got some farms in Oklahoma that produce a lot of natural high grade marijuana, and I've really seen those grow plants places. And man, those dudes, they believe in what they're doing, and so they're not trying to kill nobody with what they're doing. They're just trying to find the highest potencies they can to put out in the world and just keep you happy, mellow, sedated, happy, horny, drunk. I mean, not happy, not drunk. Happy, horny, and sleepy. That's about it.
And hungry.
Yeah.
It
Don't
depends
forget
on.
hungry.
It all depends on the strain, right?
Yeah, that's why I smoke to stay away. I smoke indica. Then if you wanna do all those things I was talking about doing, you smoke sativa. Sativa give you that laid back Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Smokey feel. See, I don't want that. See, I don't want that when I'm working. I need to be productive. I need my eyes to be wide open, sharp. Looking for everything and everybody.
Usually people consider the sativas to be activating and the indicas to be more sedating. And then on top of that, the whole munchie thing, they've actually found that like the African sativas actually can have cannabinoids that even assist with blood sugar control and weight loss too.
Let me find that it's weed in Africa. Let me find
Oh
that
yeah,
it's African weed. What?
I mean, yeah, there is. Durban Poison is actually a very popular sativa brand. I mean, it's the plant's very old, right? It's so old that they found it on in the Jewish tabernacles on their little altar, that when they burn incense, they were all in the tabernacle getting high. You know,
Ain't
with
that about
So
a
they,
beat?
so they were always talking to the burning bush.
oh yeah, they were.
So with that being said, why is it that the cracker always has to ruin the party? The Anglo-Saxon Caucasian cracker. I want to know. Question.
Well, because marijuana was one. Drug laws is because a lot of your drug laws are racist.
Well, here's what I think. Up until I think the 50s, 60s, there were actually cannabis tinctures that were sold on shelves in America. Cannabis and even the hemp industry was a very, very robust industry. You got to remember, you got all these towns named Hempstead because they were growing hemp fiber for all the sales for the Navy,
Hemp rope.
for rope, because it's the strongest natural fiber on the planet, right?
Plus, you would make a lot of fucking construction companies if you build.
Yep.
Hemp would go out of business.
Construction material with that, yeah.
Hempcrete.
Because it's fireproof. Yeah.
And
It's fireproof.
And earthquake.
Also the amount of biomass that gets created really helps with can help with increasing the oxygen output, right? I mean, and then also the hemp seeds itself are a complete source of protein. So you got something that can create your clothes, your textiles, your sails, and provide protein as food in plant form that got outlawed because of money. And then on top of that, you have your cannabinoids from the cannabis indica, the non-hemp version, the more of the pharmaceutical version. Or I guess the version that gets you high. And there's over 100 active ingredients. We focus on the terpenes. You have limonene that can help with anxiety, depression. You have myrcene, linalool. You have your usual THC, CBD, which has been shown to decrease cravings and help with addiction. You could put a lot of people out of business by isolating those compounds. That's really what it comes down to money. You're muted, Al. Hey, Al.
The Johnny Cracker knows that, and he knows that along with the big pharma that this with all the different strains that can heal you, man. Look, we don't want to go out of business, and we don't want to lose our business in the criminal justice system, in the lockup portion of it. Man, they make big money off of the people incarcerated.
Well, and you gotta remember with with DuPont and the creation of polyesters and the esters from the that are the kind of like the byproduct of the petroleum industry, which also is are used in kind of like reagents to create different drugs within our pharma industry. So the oil industry contributes to textiles, pharmaceuticals, and a lot of other industries, which, quite frankly, the cannabis plant would actually cut into. And you really can't patent a plant, a natural substance. I guess you can if you extract it and change it a little bit, but for the most part, you can't. And then on top of that, with the what's called the entourage effect, meaning THC alone doesn't do shit. It's actually when you combine it with other cannabinoids is when it becomes its most active form. So, it makes trying to create an isolated form
He
less
said, "Hey,
conducive.
I just read this. He said, I'm not overweight. Yeah, you damn right I'm not overweight. I got to be ready for them fat boys when they try. I'm gonna stay fit as a butt because I'm gonna swing, and then if I can't swing, I'm gonna pull that trigger. 5 pounds of pressure and knock a man down real quick. And then I got a scatter gun too. So all I gotta do is pump it if they want trouble and cock it one time, and they go change it. The gun's name is Mind Changer Mossberg. You go change your mind when I cock that thing. Get away from it. Because you can be a casualty real quick. And God, thank the Lord, I have never had to pull one trigger. All I did is just cock each time. Go away. Get away from me. Don't think about doing something stupid, Mr. White Man. You'll get banged in this bitch.
That's the gist of the story. People like danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. And it truly is about white people keeping power, because minorities who typically had trade and factory jobs, your body gets achy and tired, and after a long day of manual labor, a lot of minorities, Hispanics, right? They'll go home, sit on the couch, and de-stress and take the edge off with a little bit of herb.
Damn, I can't just beat my wife. Shit.
No,
well, you have
they
to be a
drink
drunk.
their cerveza, they smoke their herb, then they drink their tequila, then they beat their wife. That's how it goes.
Meanwhile, the cannabis smokers, they smoke the herb, relax, and then they get horny and they
procreate.
make love to their wife.
They procreate. Exactly.
That's what they do. Exactly.
Big Mo.
They don't make no love. See too many of these people.
No, we fucking.
Pretty much.
No, we procreate. We fucking. And secondly, Big Mo. Yeah, Big Mo. I want you to understand something. The people who try to who are against hemp, because hemp fibers are also great as a source of paper, were some of the newspaper companies or the paper mill companies who wanted to end that shit. And so what they did was through the printing press, they try to spread this type of the story of reefer madness, saying that
you're gonna become a rapist if you do. Oh Lord, reefer madness.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it did make the white girl. It made the white woman want to try black men, which is probably what they always wanted to do. It just kind of brought that out. But you were talking about the lumber industry and the paper mills. And I talked about the biomass. They cut down the trees, and some of these trees takes 50, 100 years. Meanwhile,
to grow,
you could be planting hemp, and within a full year, a field could get all the biomass you need for the fiber.
But that's too much like right, though. That's too much like right.
It makes too much sense. Our Constitution was printed on hemp paper.
I always thought the Anglo-Saxon Caucasian, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. but he's going against the grain just to cut his nose off to spite his face to fuck off the citizenship of the population. No, he's no good, I tell you. Die motherfucking bottom.
It's mainly the people that have had our economy in a chokehold are it's the oil industry and
Tobacco industry.
tobacco industry and the before it was the paper industry, right? The lumber industry.
Lumber, alcohol,
Yeah.
firearms. They've all had it because remember you ever seen in the show what was that name? That one movie, what's the name? Something Eckhart was in it called Thank You for Smoking, where they talk about the lobbying groups and everything. What it's like to be a lobbyist in Congress.
No, I don't.
Paul Eckhart, that was the actor's name. It was called Thank You for Smoking.
No, I know what movie you're talking about. I didn't watch it. I need to watch that one.
Yeah. Because you see him hang out with two other people. One was a woman, the other was a man, and they worked as lobbyists for other conglomerates like the for alcohol and firearms. And he explained the appeal of that, and he explained what the job required of these people as lobbyists.
You got to be slimy. You got to be a son of a bitch.
How many people have seen Roger Stone's documentary? Roger Stone has a documentary, folks. It's on HBO Max.
On what?
On Roger Stone.
And Neighbor's coming out with his OnlyFans. He's calling it.
There are some people who have a sexual fetish for those of us who are fading into white. We're a different type. We're a different type of black. We're the black that fades to white. Shout out to all my vitiligo folks.
As long as you keep the instruments, they keep you black. That's all that matters.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna be making pay. I'm gonna make some serious loot on that one.
I'm a little depressed though because I've been forced to get a pair of Steve Urkels, and I don't really care for them. Seeing
Hey.
age,
Yeah, you got to be proud of your spectacles.
The vision just ain't what it used to be.
Got to be proud of your spectacles, man.
Man, look, I look like a black red Steve Urkel, and I don't like it. Talking about, did I do that?
He's a smart dude.
Did I do that? Yeah.
I used to have that look until I got LASIK.
Oh.
I think that's what I'm just afraid of the laser hit my eye, man. I can't do it. That's a laser. It's hot. It's not. No.
You don't. You barely. I don't think you even feel it. To be honest, you just gotta look straight.
You're probably gonna be out cold during the process, right? You're gonna be sedated.
No, you're awake. You just look straight into the thing. Don't move your eye or anything. You just look straight, and it'll do it. The machine will do the work. And
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, when I like Charles, when I first started Muay Thai, I had to wear contacts or fight blurry, and try to go off of movement. But
Like Charles Oliveira, who's severely nearsighted, man.
I was very, very nearsighted, But with LASIK, it just changed the game. You can, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
yeah, I got it.
I would tell you, aim for the fuzzy teddy bears.
Yo, I gotta get out of here. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and I need to take my ass to sleep. Got a busy day.
Anybody else got anything to say?
Well, as I usually always say, y'all ain't shit, ain't never been shit, never will be shit. And always remember to take a good long shit so you stay shit free. And God bless y'all for it.
Don't forget to tune in to my new soap opera called The Donkey Dick Diaries. Whoa, we out.
Woo!